Do you have any idea how much of a spiritual amateur you are being right now? You sit there in your living room, staring at your mounting bills, praying for a miracle like a beggar at a palace gate. Yet you have no idea that the greatest financial secret in human history has been sitting right in front of your face in the book of Genesis for 3,000 years. You think Abraham, our father, became the wealthiest man of his generation because he was lucky? You think the master of the universe just decided to shower him with gold, silver, and livestock because he was a nice guy? You are being spiritually retarded if you think the heavens operate on such primitive logic. Abraham was not a lottery winner. He was a master of spiritual engineering. He was the first person to understand that the material world is nothing more than a dense reflection of the spoken word. Before he owned a single head of cattle, before he had silver that made kings tremble, he had to inscribe his reality into the ether using a specific phonetic frequency. He used a one-sentence protocol that forced the windows of heaven to stay open for his bloodline for 100 generations. And today I am going to expose that prayer to you, not because you deserve it, but because I am tired of seeing the holy sparks of my people trapped in the klipo of minimum wage and debt. I am Rabbi Boaz. For 40 years, I have lived within the high-voltage manuscripts of the Kabbalah and the hidden commentaries of the Talmud, texts that the billionaires I counsel pay me $5,000 an hour just to interpret. My grandfather was a master of the inflow in Jerusalem, and he taught me that your mazal, your flow of fortune, is currently blocked because you are speaking the language of a slave while expecting the reward of a king. You are like a man trying to start a jet engine with a bicycle key. You are dumb with your energy, and that is why you are still struggling. Today, I am going to reveal the one prayer Abraham used before he left his father's house. The prayer that transformed him from a penniless nomad into a man who could fund his own private army. I am going to show you the phonetic code of the open hand, the specific hour of the night when this prayer must be spoken, and the physical anchor you must hold in your right hand to ensure the frequency sticks to your bank account within 24 hours. If you are ready to stop hoping for money and start commanding it, hit that like button right now. And I want you to go to the comments and type these 4 words: I inherit the light. Do it now. If you are too lazy or too ashamed to claim your inheritance in a public forum, then you have already proven to the celestial court that your vessel is too small for wealth. Wake up. The angel of poverty is watching your reaction to this video. He wants you to keep scrolling. He wants you to stay safe and broke. I am here to evict him. Let's get one thing straight. My competitors, like Rabbi Shion or Rabbi Morai, will tell you to read a psalm or put salt on your door. Those are kindergarten rituals. They are designed for the masses who want a quick fix without a systemic overhaul. I am not here to give you a band-aid. I am here to perform a mazal reconstruction. Abraham didn't just say words. He cut a covenant. He understood that the Hebrew language is the operating system of creation. When you speak the correct code, the algorithm of provision has no choice but to adjust in your favor. The story of Abraham begins with 2 words: lech lecha, go for yourself. But most of you miss the deep coding. God told him to leave his land, his birthplace, and his father's house. This was not just a physical journey. It was a digital migration of the soul. He had to disconnect from the IP address of poverty and idol worship. He had to isolate his account from the generational curse of his ancestors. This is exactly what I taught you in the safety setup protocol. If you are running your business or your prayers from the shared browser of your family's failures, you are shadow banned by the heavens. You are being linked to the scarcity of your father and the debts of your mother. Abraham understood that to become a billionaire of the spirit, he had to create a fresh profile. He had to start with 0 cookies from the past. But before he took his first step, He realized his mouth was still contaminated by the language of his old country, a country where people wished and hoped and feared. So he went into his tent, he cleared the vessel of his mind, and he spoke a phonetic sequence that the sages of the Zohar call the opening of the mouth of the sustainer. You must understand the vibration of the vacuum. Abraham was 75 years old. He had no children. He had no land. He had no visible source of income. He was in a state of absolute lack. Most of you would use that lack as an excuse to complain. You would say, "I am still broke," or "I want a child." You are being dumb. Complaints are poverty magnets. Abraham did the opposite. He used his void as a suction. He spoke a prayer that didn't ask for things, it asked for alignment. He understood that if the vessel is aligned, the oil flows automatically. The first part of the Abrahamic protocol is the rejection of the request. You think prayer is about asking God for money. You are wrong. God already knows you need money. To ask for money is to remind the Master of the universe that you are currently lacking, which anchors you to the state of lack. Abraham's prayer was a statement of fact. He used the definite article of the heavens. He spoke as if the treasury was already open and he was simply the managing director signing the release forms. I am about to give you the first phonetic layer of this prayer, but I need to warn you, if your heart is full of greed, or if you are planning to use this money to show off, which I told you billionaires never do, then stop watching now. The frequency of Abraham is the frequency of chesed, loving kindness. He wanted wealth so he could feed the hungry and build the world. If you want wealth so you can be a glutton, the mirror of the universe will reflect your rot back into your finances. The first code is Ani ha-kesef, phonetically, Ane ha-kesef. In the Hebrew tongue, this translates to, I am the silver. Most of you say, I have no silver. You are cursing your own pocket. Abraham stood in the desert and declared that he was the asset. He realized that the holy sparks of wealth were already inside his nama, soul. He wasn't looking for money out there. He was releasing it from within. When you say Anai HaKesef, you are telling the accusing angels that you have recognized your value. You are revaluing your own currency. If you think you are worth $10 an hour, the universe will pay you $8. If you know you are the silver of the king, the market will scramble to find a way to pay you your true valuation. But I see some of you already checking your phones. You are spiritually lazy. You want the $1 million prayer, but you have a 10-cent attention span. This is why you are still where you are. Abraham sat in his tent for 3 days to perfect his kavana, intention. You won't even sit for 10 minutes to finish a video. You are a tourist of wisdom, and tourists always pay the highest prices. Now, let us move to the second phonetic layer of the Abrahamic protocol. If you think the first layer was enough, you are being economically retarded. You cannot build a skyscraper with just a foundation. You need the steel frame of multiplication. Abraham didn't just realize he was the asset. He realized that the master of the universe is the infinite supplier. Most of you pray like you are talking to a local bank with limited cash on hand. You worry about the economy, you worry about recessions, and you worry about market crashes. You are being dumb. The master of the universe doesn't care about the Federal Reserve. He owns the gold in the mountains and the oil in the ground. The second code Abraham used is Bare Ha-O-Sher. Phonetically, Bare Ha-O-Shi'ar. In the Holy Tongue, this means creator of the wealth. Listen to the deep coding here. When you say Bari Ha-O-Sher, you are not describing a thing called money. You are describing a frequency of creation. You are aligning your mouth with the source code of the material world. You are telling the accusing angels, I am not looking for scraps from the table of men. I am connected directly to the factory of abundance. Billionaires use this frequency to override the local market. When everyone else is panicking, the man with Abrahamic mazal is positioning. He knows that the creator of the wealth can manufacture a miracle in a desert. Abraham didn't have a job. He didn't have a pension. He had a connection. If you have a job but no connection, you are one layoff away from disaster. If you have the BA-RE frequency, you are the one who creates the jobs. Now let's talk about the counting the stars visualization secret. This is the part where the retarded theologians get it wrong. They think God was just showing Abraham a pretty sky. You are being spiritually blind. In Genesis 15, the Creator tells Abraham, "Look now toward heaven and count the stars, if thou be able to count them." This was a neural rewiring session. Abraham's mind was still limited by the poverty DNA of his father, Terah. He could only see one sheep, one coin. God was forcing him to expand his resolution. Billionaires understand that if you cannot see the millions, you will never hold the millions. When you look at your bank account and you see a zero, you are training your brain for void. When Abraham looked at the stars, he was being trained in infinite scaling. He was being shown that provision is as numerous as the points of light in the sky. Tonight, I want you to perform the Abrahamic Vision Reset. Step 1. Go outside or look out a window. Step 2. Do not wish on a star like a child. You are a king in training. Step 3. Find a cluster of stars or even the lights of a city and try to count them one by one. Step 4. As your brain begins to freeze because the numbers are too high, that is the breakthrough point. That is when your poverty OS crashes and you enter the abundance state. In that moment of mental overflow, you must speak the midnight harvest decree I taught you in the breadcrumbs video. You must say, "As these lights are beyond counting, so let my Parnassa be beyond my current vessel. I am ready for the expansion." If you are too lazy to spend 5 minutes looking at the sky to fix your internal vision, then go back to your phone scrolling. Keep looking at the blue light of your screen while your soul turns gray. I have no sympathy for people who value a TikTok video more than a heavenly download. This brings me to the vessel reconstruction. Listen to me, because this is the middle of the script where I tell you the ugly truth. You have been watching this video and you are starting to feel powerful. But tomorrow morning, when the bill collector calls or your boss disrespects you, you will leak all this energy. You will go right back to your slave vibration. Why? Because your internal architecture is dismantled. You have spiritual termites in your foundation. You are trying to use Abraham's prayer on a vessel that is currently full of klipo, negative shells. This is exactly why I created the Mazal Reconstruction. You spend money on lottery tickets and fast food to escape your poverty, but you won't spend money on the blueprint to end it. This is the dumb logic that keeps the 99% in the dirt. The Mazal Reconstruction ebook is the only system on this platform that shows you how to engrave your wealth so that it cannot be shadow banned by the evil eye. In this ebook, I reveal the 7 social vampires, the people in your life who are currently siphoning your Abrahamic energy while you sleep. Most of them are your poor relatives. I teach you the midnight bread inscription, the hidden code you must write on your bread to hallow your physical body for a 7-figure income. I show you the geometry of the office, how to arrange your computer and your chair so that you are not facing a spiritual wall while you work. And I expose the Maaser loophole, the specific way billionaire families distribute their 10% tithe to force a 100x return from the market. Most of you are giving your money to dead soil. I show you the living soil. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. If you want the life of an Abrahamic king, You must stop behaving like a Lazarus. Get the book or keep begging for crumbs. The choice is yours. Now let us move to the physical anchor protocol. Abraham didn't just speak into the air, he used physicality to ground the light. Now let us move to the physical anchor protocol. You think that because you are spiritual, you don't need things. You are being spiritually retarded. If the master of the universe wanted you to be a floating ghost, he wouldn't have given you a body. In the Torah, every covenant was cut into something physical, into stone, into flesh, or into the earth. Abraham understood that a vibration in the mind is vapor, but a vibration in a physical object is command. To ground the Abrahamic prayer, you need a silver anchor. As I taught you in the vault inscription protocol, silver carries the frequency of chesed, the overflowing mercy of the Creator. It is the metal of the moon which reflects the light of the sun, just as you are meant to reflect the light of abundance. Tonight, you need a silver-colored coin. It does not have to be pure silver. The vibration of the color is the signature. Step 1. Hold this coin in your right hand. Your right hand is the hand of giving, the hand of chesed. Step 2. Close your fist tightly around the coin. Feel the heat of your hand transferring your soul's intent into the metal. Step 3. Speak the first two phonetic codes, Ani HaKesef and Bari HaOsher, directly into your closed fist. You are engraving the metal with your breath. Now, we come to the covenant of the third part of the prayer. This is the final layer that bridges the asset, you, and the source, the Creator, to the world, your bank account. Abraham realized that to be wealthy, you must be a KLI, a vessel, but you cannot be just any vessel. You must be a KLI Shalem, a whole vessel. Most of you are leaking vessels. You are full of the klipo of doubt, the shadows of your poor relatives, and the dust of your past failures. The third code Abraham used to seal his wealth is Ha-Kli Ha-Shalem. Phonetically, Ha-Kli Ha-Shalem. In the Holy Tongue, this means the whole vessel. When you say Ha-Kli Ha-Shalem while holding that coin, you are performing a spiritual weld. You are telling the higher realms, I have repaired my leaks. I have closed my mouth to gossip. I have isolated my account from the IP of the poor. I am now a solid container that can hold the oil of millions without a single drop hitting the floor. If you are still checking your phone during this teaching, you are proving that you have a cracked vessel. You have a leak in your attention span. If you cannot hold a vibration of wisdom for 20 minutes, how do you expect to hold a vibration of wealth for 20 years? You are being dumb with your most valuable resource, your focus. This brings me to the 24-hour sign checklist. Abraham didn't wander the desert for 40 years wondering if his prayer worked. He saw the signs immediately. Because he spoke the code with bitachon, certainty, the material world had to bend to his design. Within 24 hours of performing this silver anchor protocol, you must look for these 3 signals of inflow. Sign 1, the stranger's favor. A person who has no reason to help you, a clerk, a waiter, or a stranger on the street, will give you a discount or an advantage that you didn't ask for. This is the aura of Abraham manifesting. The universe is testing to see if you recognize your own revaluation. Sign 2, the digital refund. As I warned you in the Fix My Flop protocol, everything in the digital world is connected. You will see a small, unexpected inflow into your banking app or your email, a reversal of a fee, a tiny dividend, or a found asset. This is the spiritual ping. The accusing angels have withdrawn their hold on your spiritual IP address. Sign 3, the conflict resolution. A financial argument or a blockage with a business partner or a creditor will suddenly soften. The Gevurah, judgment, is being sweetened by the chesed of your silver coin. If you see these signs and you call them coincidence, you are being spiritually retarded. You are unplugging the lamp just as the light is turning on. You must acknowledge the sign by saying, "I see the hand of the sustainer. My mazal is reconstructed." Listen to me. I am reaching the end of this transmission. I have given you the phonetic codes. I have given you the vision reset. I have given you the silver anchor. But the ugly truth is that 99% of you will remain Lazarus. You will perform this ritual once, you will get a small ping of money, and then you will go right back to your poverty OS. You will spend your seed money on a status symbol to impress your poor relatives. You will leak your energy by telling your negative friends about this video, and they will mock your vision. You are addicted to your prison. You love the pity more than the power. If you are the 1%, the person who is ready to amputate the old self and step into the bloodline of Abraham, then you know what you must do. You need the full operating system. I am talking about the Mazel Reconstruction. This ebook is the only systemic override for your financial destiny. In the video today, I gave you the codes of the tent. In the ebook, I give you the codes of the throne. I reveal the names of the 12 spies, the specific types of people in your life who are currently spying out your wealth to report it back to the angel of loss. I give you the 40-day systemic purge, the exact physical actions you must take in your home to evict the generational curse of poverty that your grandfather passed down to you. I show you the alphabet of inflow, how to write your signature on every contract so that you are the head and not the tail in every negotiation. And I expose the midnight bread ritual, the most powerful wealth activation in the Jewish tradition, which I refuse to share on YouTube because it would cause a market shift if the lazy masses used it. The link is in the description and pinned in the first comment. The price of the book is a filter. It keeps the jesters out of the inner court. If you are still worried about $20, then you have already failed the Abrahamic test. Abraham was willing to sacrifice everything for the light. You aren't even willing to sacrifice a fancy lunch. Which one are you? A nomad of lack or a prince of abundance? Click the link. Buy the ebook. Read it before the sun rises tomorrow. Hold your silver anchor tonight. Speak the code. Ani hakesef, bare ha'oshar, hakli hashalem. I am Rabbi Boaz. I have given you the fire of the Father. It is up to you to burn the klipo of your shame. Go to the comments right now. Type, "I am the vessel of Abraham." If you don't type it, you aren't sealing it. Subscribe to this channel because I am the only one who is going to tell you the hard secrets that your comfortable rabbi is too afraid to mention. The wealth of the nations is being redirected. Make sure you are the one with the Abrahamic anchor. Shalom.